Hello, welcome to Social Media Tweaks. I'm Chris Sims, and today in this module, we're going to look at developing a more secure digital presence on social media, how to protect your identity, and protect some of the critical data that's in some of your social media accounts. Today, social media platforms are as common, no, more common than cable television. Social media platforms are accessible on numerous devices: desktops, laptops, phones, tablets, streaming on televisions, automobile dashboard screens, and even on watches. Social media can create a sense of community, enhance communication between family and friends, facilitate career building, and support development of a professional network. These same social media platforms that enhance our personal and professional lives also can open a door to a criminal or malicious element that look to take advantage or harm our families. I have a short video for you from the Center for Internet Security on social media threats. The speaker is retired Air Force General Spano, who spent a long time in the Air Force working on cybersecurity. Again, securing your data on social media. First, we'll look at just some best practices that really apply to all the platforms, and then we'll talk about a couple Facebook-specific items and a couple Twitter-specific items. Now, the information available on social media best practices or protecting your identity online are endless on YouTube. And a lot of companies actually now spend a lot of money helping their employees even secure their data at home on their social media, because obviously it's important to the companies as well. But a few things specifically that you can look out for. Use an email account for these platforms that's not associated with your banking or finances or other important contacts. Only establish and maintain connections with people that you know and trust. Review your connections often. You may want to go back in and remove people that were just maybe coworkers in the past that maybe don't need to know everything you're doing now. Assume that anyone can see any information about your activities, your personal life, or your professional life. Ensure that your family takes similar precautions with their accounts. Their privacy and sharing settings can expose your personal data. And lastly, avoid posting or tagging images of you or your family that clearly show your face. Select pictures that were taken from a distance or at an angle or otherwise concealed. Never post smartphone photos. Instead, use cartoons or avatars when you can. Now, I know a lot of times for family with Facebook, that type of thing, some of those rules may not apply, especially the face photos. But for your open ones that are facing the larger community, say LinkedIn, that's where you want to be careful with this type of thing. Now, if we're going to talk about social media platforms, we can't not talk about Facebook. Everyone has Facebook. Your kids have Facebook. Grandparents have Facebook. It's the big one. Along with Facebook, there are a few things you need to do. First of all, of course, only establish and maintain connections with people you know and you trust. Again, review your connections often. Assume that anyone can see the information about your activities, personal life, or professional life that you post there. Ensure that your family takes similar precautions with their accounts. Their privacy and sharing settings can expose your personal data. This is important. This is when you need to sit down with your family and have a talk with them, just like you would talk about locking your front door with your younger kids. Now, remember what I said about photos and facial pictures. Facebook's one of the odd ones. There are people that use Facebook really just for family or very close friends. If you really manage your friend list and you really manage your privacy settings specifically for photos and posts and who can share, you're probably okay with doing that on Facebook. As with any program, use secure browser settings whenever possible and monitor your browsing history to make sure you recognize all access points. Here's a big one with Facebook. Don't log in with third-party sites. Twitter, Bing, that want to use your Facebook account. Facebook Connect shares your information and your friends' information with third-party sites. These third-party sites will aggregate and misuse your personal information. Also, use as few apps as possible, as most of them can access and share your personal data. Another social media platform is Twitter. Twitter is a service for friends, family, and coworkers to communicate and stay connected through the exchange of quick, frequent messages. People post tweets, which may contain photos, videos, links, up to 140 characters of text. In the near future, that's going to move up to 280 characters of text. It's right now in beta and people are trying it out. These messages are posted to your profile, it's sent to followers, and searchable on Twitter. Twitter messages are called tweets. Mentions are used to tag another Twitter user, like @username, and hashtags are used to mark keywords or topics in a tweet or a hashtag topic. So some Twitter best practices, things to look out for. Avoid using hashtags in updates to prevent Twitter search from indexing and associating your tweet with a topic. Tweet responsibly. Don't provide personal details regarding your whereabouts or your activities in a post. Don't upload personal photos or websites to your Twitter. Do not allow Twitter to use your location on mobile devices. This applies to most all social media. Change your Twitter username once in a while to limit your account exposure. Now, your friends that are following you on Twitter, they will still know who you are, but it will help reduce exposure to your account. Okay, we took a few minutes. We looked at social media best practices. Specifically, we looked at a little Facebook, we looked at a little Twitter, but what you find is most of the best practices are the same throughout. Now, one important thing we didn't talk about was password protection. That's something we're going to look at in the next module. Now, I know that you might need more detail or might want to know more about specific social media platforms and what are things you can specifically do. Now, YouTube, as I said, has millions of videos specifically that will show you what you can do with each social media platform. What I will do is in the resources tab of this class, you'll be able to find some job aids in the overall resources for the whole course that will help you with some specifics. So you can see a couple screen captures of how to get to your privacy settings in Facebook, or where specifically to find a Twitter setting that you need to change. So I think that'll help, but I think YouTube in this case is probably your best friend for the specific social media platform that you use. All right, so thank you, and I'll see you at our next module, which will be password protection.